Welcome to the next video of Animation Universal. Today, I'll share with you 10 lesser-known facts about the infamous Mongol leader, Genghis Khan. Before we dive into the video, make sure you've subscribed to the channel so you won't miss any of our exciting and informative videos. Also, don't forget to leave a comment, like, and share to support our team. Now, let's begin the story. From 1206 until his death in 1227, the Mongol leader Genghis Khan conquered nearly 31 million square kilometers of territory, more than any individual in history. On his conquests, his brutal sword extended from Asia to Europe, resulting in the deaths of tens of millions of people. On the other hand, he modernized Mongolian culture, ensured religious freedom, and facilitated trade between the East and the West. Below are 10 remarkable facts about this globally significant leader, a figure embodying both military genius, political acumen, and a reign of terror. 1. Genghis Khan wasn't his real name. The man who would later become the great Khan of the Mongol people was born near the Onon River around 1162. At birth, he was given the name Temujin, which means iron or blacksmith. It wasn't until 1206 that he assumed the fearsome title Genghis Khan. At that time, he was named leader of the Mongols during a tribal meeting called a Kurultai. The term Khan is a traditional title referring to a leader or ruler. As for the name Genghis, historians remain uncertain about its origins. The word may mean ocean or righteousness. In the context of this figure, it is commonly translated as supreme ruler. 2. A turbulent childhood. From a young age, Genghis Khan had to endure a harsh struggle for survival on the Mongolian steppes. His father was poisoned by Tatar rivals when he was just 9 years old. Following this, his tribe cast out his family, leaving his mother to raise 7 children alone. Growing up, Genghis Khan hunted and foraged for food to survive. In his adolescence, he even killed a half-brother in a dispute over food. During his youth, rival tribes kidnapped both him and his young wife, forcing him to live as a slave before he devised a daring escape plan. Despite these early hardships, by his early 20s, he had established himself as a formidable warrior and leader. After assembling an army of loyal followers, he began forging alliances with key tribal leaders. By 1206, he successfully united the Mongolian steppe tribes under the banner of Genghis Khan. After securing a series of victories, he turned his attention to territories beyond the steppe. 3. No clear records of Genghis Khan's appearance. Despite being a figure of immense influence, very little is known about Genghis Khan's private life or even his physical appearance. No portraits or sculptures from his time have survived. The scant descriptions that historians possess often conflict with one another or lack reliability. Most accounts describe him as tall and strong with long hair and a thick mustache. Perhaps the most surprising description comes from 14th century Persian historian Rashid al-Din, who claimed Genghis Khan had red hair and green eyes. However, al-Din's account is considered questionable since he never met the great Khan. Nonetheless, such features have been mentioned in Mongolian communities. 4. Some of his most trusted generals were former enemies. Genghis Khan had a remarkable talent for recognizing and utilizing human potential. He often promoted military commanders based on their skills and experience rather than their status, origin, or past loyalties. A classic example of his merit-based leadership occurred in 1201 during a battle with the rival Taijut tribe. Genghis Khan narrowly escaped death when his warhorse was shot down by an arrow from behind. After capturing Taijut prisoners, he asked who had shot the arrow. A courageous prisoner stood up and admitted to being the archer. Impressed by the man's bravery, Genghis Khan appointed him as a commander in his army. The archer, later named Jebe, meaning arrow, went on to become one of the great Khan's most trusted generals. Together with the famous General Subutai, Jebe became one of the greatest military strategists of the Mongols, leading conquests across Asia and Europe. 5. Eradicate the roots. Genghis Khan often gave kingdoms the opportunity to surrender peacefully to the Mongol Empire. However, he did not hesitate to suppress resistance with brutal force. One of his most infamous campaigns of revenge occurred in 1219 after the ruler of the Khwarezmian Empire violated a treaty with the Mongols. Initially, Genghis Khan proposed a lucrative trade agreement involving the exchange of goods along the Silk Road. But when his envoys were murdered, the Great Khan unleashed the full might of the Mongol army in retaliation. The ensuing conflict led to the deaths of millions, and the Khwarezmian Empire, located in Persia, was completely annihilated. The Great Khan didn't stop there. Following his victory, he turned eastward and launched a war against the Tangut people of the western Shia state. They had refused to supply troops for his invasion of Khwarezm. After defeating the Tangut forces and devastating their capital, Genghis Khan ordered the execution of the entire Tangut royal family as punishment for their defiance. 6. Responsible for the deaths of 40 million people. While the exact number of deaths during the Mongol conquests remains uncertain, many historians estimate the toll to be around 40 million. Medieval records show a massive population decline in China during Genghis Khan's reign. Scholars suggest that the Mongols may have wiped out as much as 3/4 of modern-day Iran's population during their campaign against the Khwarezmian Empire. Some reports indicate that the Mongol invasions reduced the world's population at the time by as much as 11%. 7. Tolerance for religious diversity. Unlike many other empire builders, Genghis Khan embraced the diversity of the territories he conquered. He enacted laws granting religious freedom to all and even exempted places of worship from taxation. This tolerance had a political purpose. Genghis Khan knew that treating local leaders well would make them less likely to rebel. However, it wasn't just a strategic decision. The Mongols themselves had a unique openness to religion. Genghis Khan and many other Mongols worshipped the sky, wind, and mountains, with the Great Khan himself being deeply spiritual. He was known to pray in his tent for days before launching significant campaigns. He often met with religious leaders to discuss their beliefs. In his later years, Genghis Khan even invited the Taoist master Chu Chuji to his camp. The two reportedly engaged in lengthy discussions about immortality and the philosophy of life. 8. Creator of one of the first international postal systems. Alongside bows, arrows, and horses, the Mongols' greatest weapon may have been their vast communication network. One of Genghis Khan's earliest decrees was the establishment of a horse-based courier service known as the Yam. This system consisted of a series of well-organized relay stations and post houses spread across the Mongol Empire. Riders could cover up to 322 kilometers, 200 miles per day. The Yam allowed goods and information to be transmitted at unprecedented speeds, serving as the Great Khan's eyes and ears. Thanks to the Yam, Genghis Khan could stay informed about political and military developments and maintain contact with his network of spies and scouts. The system also provided safe passage for foreign envoys and merchants traveling through the empire. 9. The mystery of his death and burial. Among the many mysteries surrounding Genghis Khan's life, the question of how he died is perhaps the most intriguing. Official records state that he died in 1227 from injuries sustained in a fall from his horse. Other accounts suggest causes ranging from malaria to a wound inflicted by an arrow to the knee. Regardless of the cause, Genghis Khan took extreme measures to keep the location of his burial a secret. According to legend, his funeral procession massacred anyone they encountered along the way and rode their horses repeatedly over his grave to erase any traces. It is believed that his tomb is located on or near Burkhan Khaldun, a sacred mountain in Mongolia. However, The exact location remains unknown to this day. 10. Erased from Mongolian memory, then restored. Although Genghis Khan is regarded as a national hero and the founding father of Mongolia, his legacy was suppressed during the 20th century under Soviet influence. Any mention of his name was banned. It wasn't until the early 1990s, with the fall of Soviet influence, that Genghis Khan was restored to his place in Mongolian history. Today, his name graces Mongolia's main international airport in Ulaanbaatar, and his portrait appears on Mongolian currency. Thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications to ensure you don't miss any exciting and informative videos. We sincerely appreciate your support. Goodbye for now, and see you in the next video.